So this is what we know about Muhammad right here. I don't know what maybe you have seen or what pamphlet or article maybe you have read about, that boosts Muhammad's character and throws, little sprinkles and rainbows on top of it. But that's not Muhammad. This is Muhammad, the one who sells black slaves, the one who sleeps with his slave. You want me to show you that he slept with his slave girls?
I feel like that's the straw man, though, man.
Straw man? Ain't no straw man here, man. We just read. The only thing
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I know what you just showed me. And man.
Do you want me to look? Because like this is one thing I can show you multiple. I can show you you've been in Islam for a few months. Have you heard of his marriage with Aisha?
I heard about that.
Do you believe it?
I don't believe that. I don't believe he's capable of that.
All right,
I believe. You know what? And this might start a whole warfare against.
Okay, so what you got for me today, man?
Well, I would like to say, I was raised in Christianity my whole life. I recently converted to Islam, and
how recent?
A few months ago, probably like 4 months ago or so. Okay. And I looked into other religions and whatnot because it was just certain things about at least mainstream Christianity that's being put out there. A lot of it didn't sit with me. It wasn't compatible with me. So I looked into other things, into other religions or whatever. And when I got into Islam, I try to be more open-minded and continue my search for the truth. But Islam is the one that stood out all the way. Islam was the one I found compatible for the way I want to live my life.
So you want to follow a man who owned and sold black slaves?
Well, I mean, it depends how you word it, because it's a thing, though. As far as like my research and what I learned is that, yes, he bought slaves, but he bought them to free them. No, he bought them to free them from the oppression that they was under.
What if he was the one
very honorable?
Yeah. What if he was the one that was the oppressor and he didn't free them? What if you learned? What if what you've been told that he bought slaves to free the slaves is a lie, is a flat out lie? What if that was a lie, but he actually kept the slaves and even sold slaves himself? What if that was the truth? Then what?
Well, with what I read, I didn't hear anything about him selling slaves to other people. But
no, what would you?
I do.
What would you think of that? Is the question.
What would I think about?
Yeah, what would you think if he owned and sold black slaves? What would you think of that? You think that that's an honorable prophet of God to follow?
No, I mean, I would disagree with that. I don't think that's right.
Good. I want to show you something, brother. And
can I ask something though before? I don't mean to interrupt you, with all due respect.
Sure.
Like,
I'm about to show you this story.
That's fine. But like with what I read is he never, when he did, he never oppressed, he never mistreated. Even the people that was captured in war, he treated with the utmost respect and
that's false. All of that is false. He used to sleep with his little slave girls. I
disagree with that too.
Trust me, brother. Look, you just joined Islam a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure they did not lead with, oh yeah, by the way, our honorable prophet, the moral character, sold and owned people that looked like you. And also would actually sleep with his slave girls. I'm pretty sure they didn't lead with that. They probably told you that Allah is one. There's only one Quran that's never been corrupted or changed, while every other book has been changed, and so on and so forth.
But brother, quick question though. It's like I've also had delved into the Bible myself, and I have noticed that whenever there was a messenger of God, whenever there was a messenger or prophet of God, there wasn't a time, first of all, when they were sent to a wicked people, a wicked nation. And there was the guidance of their people at that time. But like I haven't found yet a people that had accepted their prophet fully or haven't spoke ill about him. So it's like to me it's common that, it would make sense that if Prophet Muhammad is the real last prophet, people gonna speak ill about him. And I mean, there's been 1,400 years
people spoke ill about him all the time,
to throw dirt on his name. Like, but I can't.
Yusuf, people spoke bad about him. I'm about to show you all of this. Everything that you've learned about Islam, it's a lie. I'm about to show it all to you. I know it's probably going to be, like me saying this is like, it means nothing. I'm just going to show you. All right. So let me first show you about the slavery. Okay. Because we both agree that this is not something that anybody of somebody of God would do, or that God would ordain this. Now watch this, bro. So this is Sahih Muslim 1602. Now look at the is it big enough on your screen?
Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I got the. Hold on 1 second. I'm
sharing it on the screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
All right. Do you see where it says chapter?
Yes.
You see this part? Okay, this is what it says, yes. Right? This is the name of the chapter that this hadith falls under. This is the context. It says the permissibility of selling animals for animals of the same kind and of different quality. Okay. Now watch what the hadith says, talking about selling animals for animals, brother. Jabir reported, there came a slave and pledged allegiance to Allah's apostle on migration. He, the prophet, did not know that he was a slave. Then there came his master and demanded him back, whereupon Allah's apostle said, sell him to me. And he bought him for 2 black slaves. And he did not afterwards take allegiance from anyone until he had asked him whether he was a slave. So notice here, he didn't buy him with like dollar bills or coin. He bought this non-black slave for 2 black slaves. So notice the quality worth.
Hold on, man.
2 black slaves is worth 1 non-black slave, right? And so Muhammad sold these 2 black slaves to another slave owner.
Oh man,
this is Islam, bro.
I don't know how strong that hadith is, though.
Oh, brother, this is Sahih Muslim. So meaning Sahih is authentic, obviously, right? And when it comes to the hadith books, you got the 6 main authentic hadith books, right? The first one is Sahih Al-Bukhari. That's number 1 authentic,
right.
You know. Second, right under that is Sahih Muslim.
Right.
And that's what we just read out of, Sahih Muslim. And by the way, just to show you how Sahih, how authentic this hadith is, this isn't the only place it shows up. Let me show you.
I mean, it's at sunnah.com, so that's what they feed into the mainstream.
Yep.
Mainstream.
Yep, it's mainstream, but not just that, bro. Watch. That it's not just Sahih Muslim, it's all over the place, bro. Look. These are all hadith that say the same thing. Sunan an-Nasa'i, right? The prophet said, sell him to me, and he bought him for 2 black slaves.
But how could he buy a slave with 2 black slaves? That's crazy to me.
Because it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. The 2 black slave is worth 1 non-black slave.
But on his last sermon, he talked about how no black is superior over the white, and no white is superior.
That's a lie, bro.
Black, no Arab is superior to a non-Arab. No, bro,
that's a myth. That's a myth. That's a myth. There is no last sermon where he preached that. That's what they tell you guys. That never happened. There's no hadith that says that.
Damn, man, like
there's no hadith that says it, bro. I'm not lying to you. You know, I would acknowledge if that existed. It doesn't exist.
I just don't think that he's capable of certain things. Like I feel like there was an infiltration within Islam at some point, just like it happened with Judaism and Christianity.
Nah, brother, it's your idea of Muhammad. You have a particular idea of Muhammad. You have a picture of Muhammad in your head of how he behaves, his character, like, you know who he is, but you don't know Muhammad. You don't know him, bro. When you read the sources, this is who he is.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, you know what I mean? I read up on his biography and his character and everything, brother. Like, in the way that he carried himself, I feel like he is incapable of, maybe he could be capable of committing minor sins.
Where did you read about this? Sins. Where did you read about this?
Islamic scriptures. It's Islamic literature.
But what kind are you talking about? Brochures, propaganda? Because notice what I showed you. We went straight to the horse's mouth, right? It wasn't no secondary, third source, or no. It was straight, authentic hadith from the Sunnah sources itself. You feel me? So this is what we know about Muhammad right here. I don't know what maybe you have seen or what pamphlet or article maybe you have read about, you know, that boosts Muhammad's character and throws, you know, little sprinkles and rainbows on top of it. But that's not Muhammad. This is Muhammad, the one who sells black slaves, the one who sleeps with his slave. You want me to show you that he slept with his slave girls?
I feel like that's the straw man, though, man.
Straw man? Ain't no straw man here, man. We just read. The only thing
No,
we do here is
I get what
read.
you're saying. I get what you're saying, and I know what you just showed me. And
Mhm.
I just, damn, man.
Do you want me to look? Because like this is one thing I can show you multiple. I can show you like for you've been in Islam for a few months. Have you heard of his marriage with Aisha?
I heard about that.
Do you believe it?
I don't believe that. I don't
Okay.
believe he's capable of that.
All right. Let me show you.
I believe. You know what? And
Mhm.
this might start a whole warfare against my own community of Muslims, but I don't even I'm not cool with Aisha. I feel like all she did was live her life to taint his character. I think she was jealous. I think she was on some other stuff. Like
Mhm.
I think there was you see, like in the Quran it says not to make sex out of your religion, but yet they had made plenty sex, just like it happened with Judaism and Christianity. So you got Sunnis, you got Sufis, you got Salafi, whatever, it just the Shia and all that. And I don't honestly, I try to stay away from the mainstream religions altogether. Like what to me is true is whatever is universal truth. Like if there's certain things that I just can't believe, like even if it came from the sources, even like, you just pulled up that hadith, I feel like
Uh-huh.
it could have been some ill intent somewhere down the line from one of them people.
Okay. So let's do
I
this.
don't,
I
I
want to
don't
show
think the
you.
real Muhammad is
I got.
capable of certain
I
things.
got
I
you,
don't
Yusuf.
think he.
Yusuf.
I'm sorry.
I got you.
Forgive me. Forgive me.
This is my thing with you, brother. Because I hear what you're saying. What I'm gonna do is this. What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you the authentic hadith. I'm gonna show you straight from Sahih Bukhari about the Aisha thing, and then I'm gonna just show you from the Quran what the Quran teaches. Because it sounds like the hadith stuff is iffy, and maybe you won't believe it, but you believe the Quran. So I'm gonna show you the same stuff from the Quran, no different. All right. But let me show you Aisha first so that you can say, so that you know that you've seen it yours for yourself. You're not gonna walk away from the stream not knowing about this anymore. You're gonna be, I'm here to give you what I got. I'm gonna give you information, you know what I'm saying? And I pray that God guides you and leads you to wisdom to make the right decision. But so this is what it says about Muhammad. This is Sahih Bukhari, bro. The top hadith, right? Top hadith book. Okay, here it is. It said, hold on, let me do it this way. There we go. So this is Sahih Bukhari 5133. It says, narrated Aisha, that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old. And then she remained with him for 9 years.
Define consummated. I mean, I could look it up too. But
Yeah. Consummate means that you complete the marriage with sexual intercourse. So you have sexual intercourse to seal your marriage. It makes it complete. So basically, a marriage contract was wrote up when she was 6 years old. So he married her when she was 6, and then slept with her when she was 9. And by the way, it's not just in this. Look, Sahih Bukhari records this multiple times. This is 5133. Here's the next one. Sahih Bukhari 5158. Same thing, right? The Prophet wrote the marriage contract with Aisha while she was 6 years old, and consummated his marriage with her while she was 9 years old. All of them say the same thing. Every hadith you're going to bring up, they all say that. Now they'll switch on the age when the marriage contract was written. Most say 6. Some you get a few that might say 7, but every single one of them say the same thing about him sleeping with her when she was 9. And just for, just like more clear, like here's another one, Sahih Bukhari again, when she was 9 years old. Let's keep going. Let's see. Here it is. Here's Sunan Abu Dawud Sahih. It says, the Messenger of Allah married me when I was 7 years old. The narrator Solomon said, or 6. He had intercourse with me when I was 9 years old.
Now, when they calculating this age, right? Like, are they using was there an Islamic calendar before Islam? Like, because they sure wasn't using the Gregorian calendar.
Brother, they human beings were able to track their age before regular calendars were put out, bro. People know when a year goes by. People know when days and weeks or months go by, celebrations, so on and so forth.
It's like
they know their own age, man.
This thing, right? That's tough, man. I got a daughter. So
if somebody were to do this with your daughter, I know that you'll break their jaw. You'll probably You'll probably kill him.
No,
I would.
I would be non-existent, but so would the other person. God forgive me. But look, this the thing though. I don't know, man. Like I can't believe he had it in him to do something. I feel like that's just.
It's only because you don't know him.
1,400 years of people just throwing dirt on him and trying to assassinate his character.
This is Islam, man. These aren't non-Muslims trying to, But look, mischaracterize Muhammad. But this is who he is according to the most authentic sources of Islam.
There's a difference between me and other Muslim brothers, though. It's that I know there's other brothers and it's gonna whatever it is. But I'm gonna speak my mind and I'm gonna speak what I believe on. Yep. And like everybody think their religion is perfect and it's that one way to get to heaven. And honestly, I feel like everything mainstream have been made to control people, to control the population, mind control, whatever. And I don't think there's nothing perfect out there, and there's gonna be Muslims out there saying that Islam is perfect, but I'm not that brother to say that Islam is perfect.
You have to believe that.
I feel like there was a point where it was in its perfection, and whoever wanted to be in power, wanted to possess power, did what they had to do, even if it had to be that Aisha had to speak bad about her own husband or the whole situation with Ali. I disagree with that. I don't like what happened right there. I feel like there was turmoil within Islam at one point.
There was, but the point is, Yusuf, is that there's no way around this. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't put our blinders on. We can't, run into a dark cave and act like this doesn't exist. This is what Islam is. And you just didn't know that. You joined a religion that you did not know, bro. And you're trusting in a man, Muhammad, who you do not know about. You don't know him.
But based off his character, though. I also don't know personally Jesus Christ.
I know.
Upon him. I also don't know personally King David or Solomon, peace be upon them all. But judging
because you haven't read their works. You haven't read about them.
I would also like to say, like, forgive me, right? But like to interrupt you or whatever. But like I going into the Bible, I never agreed with that whole situation where Lot's daughters got him drunk and he slept with his daughters. Like
nobody
was blasphemy.
Yusuf, nobody agrees with that. What they did was sinful. You see how we can condemn such actions, but can you as a Muslim condemn Muhammad when he does something evil, like what Lot's daughters did? Can you? We condemn Lot's daughters. Can you condemn Muhammad?
I could condemn it. Yes, I can, because I disagree with it.
So, well, guess what? This is what the Quran. Watch this. Now, let me show you what the Quran says, man. Because the Quran says that you can't disagree with Muhammad and be a true believer with anything that he does or says. You can't disagree with him. You have to affirm everything that he has ever done and said with no resistance, or else you're not a real believer.
This is the thing, brother, though. Like, I don't want to be caught in that trap where I may be denying the last messenger, just like people deny, the Jews deny Christ. No,
dude. Oh my goodness.
And imagine me.
This is why it's important. Look, let me respond to that. This is why it's important for you to get to know Jesus, because if you would have known Jesus, Muhammad would have been the most obvious false prophet to you, and you would have no fear in missing this guy, because he's a false prophet. Jesus literally says, you know them by their fruits. A lot of them are going to come out, try to claim that they're in line with me, meaning Jesus, that they're teaching the same thing, false doctrine, claiming to be prophets. Do not believe them. That's what Jesus says. And so we see when Muhammad is selling and owning black slaves, sleeping with little girls, while claiming that God allows him to do these things, this is an obvious false prophet, bro. Don't be duped. Don't be deceived.
Like I feel that same way about Paul. And Paul is being held in high regards, and he used to degrade women. I think he was actually part of the alphabet group. I'm not even going to say the word. Like, honestly, man,
these are crazy accusations. Hold on, I gotta stop you here, because notice how I'm able to bring you straight up sources, your own sources about Muhammad. If you're going to say something about Paul, and which we can get to after this, after I show you what Islam really is, and you make the decision to either stay or leave, that's on you. I want you then to show me what is your issue with Paul with receipts. Like I'm bringing receipts. Is that fair?
Okay, brother.
All right.
You do got more experience though than me on this, so you got the receipts on hand. I don't. But if I mention it to you, you could probably bring it back. You could probably
there's nothing about Paul that degrades women. But if you're talking about degrading women,
not only that, but I feel like he went against everything that Jesus taught.
Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's wrong to degrade women?
Yeah.
Good. So do you think beating your wife is degrading to women?
Yeah.
Good. The Quran teaches that. Muhammad taught this. Muhammad taught that if you fear disobedience, not even if she was, if you fear it, if you think that she is being disobedient or acting out, then you can hit her. You didn't know that? They didn't tell you this part about the Quran either, huh? Let me show you the verse, bro. I'm gonna put the verse on the screen. This is Quran. This ain't Hadith. I'm gonna show, but it's both. It's both. This is in the Hadith as well, but I'm showing you Quran. So this is supposed to be Allah's words, right? What Allah commands. Watch this, bro. It's heinous. Chapter 4, verse 34. It says. Now, hold on. Let me go ahead and get one without the all the parentheses. Because I don't like these parentheses here. Because I don't like how they try to add and fix up the Quran here. Hold on. What's one that doesn't have parentheses? Let's try Arbery. Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. So this is chapter 4, verse 34. You can see the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So it says, men are the managers of the affairs of women, for that God has preferred in bounty one of them over the other. So he's preferred men. He put men over women. And for that, they have expended of their property. Righteous women are therefore obedient, guarding the secret for God's guarding. And those you fear may be rebellious, admonish, banish them to their couches, and beat them. If they then obey you, look not for any way against them. God is all high, all great. Imagine that. How merciful God is that he gives you a command to beat your wife if you think that she might be rebellious. This is demeaning to women. But this is in the Quran. This is what the Quran is teaching. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that. Hey, brother, quick question, though. Is it possible to get another Muslim on here while I'm on here? Because I got a question for another Muslim brother, too.
You wanna hear them explain this stuff?
I have a question for them.
Sure, but first, what you disagree with this?
I don't like that.
Good. So I'm telling you, brother, you just left this. Let me show you the difference, actually, and then I'll bring up another Muslim brother so that you can ask them something. But let me show you. I'm gonna put this side by side with the Bible, bro. Put it side by side with the Injil. Now look at this. Hold on, let me increase this. This is Ephesians 5. Now, this is Paul, who you said demeans women. Watch what he says about women. I'm sorry, about how husbands are to treat their wives. Verse 25 here. Watch what he says. He says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water and the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. Do you think somebody abuses their own bodies? Like, does someone who loves themselves beat themselves? Do they hit their own self, or do they take care of their body? They take care of themselves, right?
Right.
The Bible here says, in the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one has ever hated his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body.
Okay.
So Paul is teaching that the same way that God loves believers, the church is the body of believers, us people who come to believe in him. The way that he gave his life for us, the way that he is preparing to present us as a beautiful, beautiful bride without blemish, without mistake, right? Perfect. He's perfecting us. He cherishes us. He takes care of us. The same way is how God loved us is how a husband is supposed to love his wife. That's what the Bible teaches. Notice the difference?
And you said that was Paul?
That's Paul, baby. That's Paul, man.
Hey,
Paul versus Muhammad.
but
Paul
this the thing
versus
though. I want to add something though, because what I do find true is when Prophet Muhammad said that the best amongst you is the one who's best to his wife. So I mean, who's the person that rewrote the Quran?
nobody.
I don't know. I feel like there was adversaries within. There was a power.
Brother,
There was a power structure destabilized. I don't know when, but
what you don't want to do, Yusuf, what you don't want to do
I,
is cherry
I
pick.
don't
You
want to
wanna-
fall into I don't want to fall into mainstream. That's what I don't want to do.
No,
Because
but with that motive, you're starting to neglect what Islam is and what it says. You're
No,
you're choosing what sounds good to you, and you're like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna stick with,
because it's
while
universal
ignoring
truth,
the other
though.
parts that are just flat out wrong. You know
But
what I'm
brother,
saying?
but it's universal truth, and I feel like God's truth can never be changed.
That just means
God's
that
truth
it
can
isn't
never be
God's truth.
changed.
Okay,
Whatever gets changed down the line, that's made by men.
but
That's my
Yusuf,
belief.
you're missing it. That just means that Islam is not God's truth, because this is what Islam is teaching. So that's not God's truth. God doesn't.
Something stood out to me during this discussion, and it wasn't the host's arguments. It was the honesty of the recent convert. Here was a man who genuinely wanted truth. He left Christianity because he believed Islam offered clearer answers. Yet when he was confronted with passages from Islamic sources, he repeatedly found himself saying, I don't agree with that, or I don't believe Muhammad would do that. That response reveals the central issue. Many converts are introduced to an idealized version of Islam. They hear about submission to God, discipline, morality, and community. But eventually, every truth claim must be tested against primary sources. The question is not what we wish a religion taught. The question is what its authoritative texts actually teach. The convert openly rejected reports about slavery, questioned the traditions surrounding Aisha, challenged controversial teachings, and even raised concerns about the compilation of the Quran itself. Ironically, those doubts exposed a deeper problem. If the most trusted Islamic sources cannot be trusted, how does someone determine which parts of Islam are authentic and which parts are corruption? This is where Christianity stands apart. Christianity does not ask believers to follow Christ because of blind loyalty. It invites investigation. Jesus said false prophets would be known by their fruits. The New Testament repeatedly encourages testing claims, examining evidence, and holding fast to truth. Notice something else. Whenever biblical figures commit sins, Scripture records those failures openly. The Bible does not sanitize history. It does not protect reputations at all costs. That transparency is one reason Christian apologetics remains so powerful. The convert kept appealing to universal truth. That's actually an important point. If a teaching contradicts God's moral character, people naturally struggle with it. The real question becomes, which worldview consistently reflects the holiness, justice, and love revealed by God? For me, that answer remains Jesus Christ. The discussion wasn't ultimately about Islam versus Christianity. It was about whether truth comes from evidence or personal preference. A religion cannot be defended by accepting the comfortable parts and dismissing the difficult ones. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you think the convert raised valid concerns? Can Islam answer those questions convincingly? Or do these issues point people back to the message of Jesus Christ? Comment below, like this video, subscribe for more Christian apologetics content, and join the conversation.